Hi guys, FrostFangs here, back again with another Paladins video. Going to be doing a tier list for all of the maps. Today I did the ones for characters a while ago, but I've been meaning to get this one for ages, and because I've been gone for a couple of weeks, thought I might as well come back and finally do this. And just in case you're wondering why I disappeared right after I made a video talking about the PTS and how excited I was to cover it, because I pretty much missed the entire cycle. I was ill with the thing, and if you're watching this video around the time that's coming out and not 10 years later, you should know what I mean. But yeah, pretty shitty time to be ill. Started like literally a day or two before the PTS went up, so I missed the entire thing, and by the time I was feeling good enough to even play Paladins, the PTS was down, so I just missed it, and I think I'm going to come back right around when the update finally goes up. So I will be back to regular videos. It feels like I've been away for way too long. Really made me realize how much I enjoy doing this, because I took like a week right before that. I sort of came back for 1 or 2 videos and then got sick, so really crappy timing. But let's go into the tier list. So yeah, we'll start with TDM, then we'll do Onslaught, King of the Hill, and Siege last. I might throw some gameplay clips just randomly in, or maybe not. Maybe this video will be a little bit more chill. If you want to put music on in the background, feel free to go for it, and definitely leave me your list down in the comments and what your favorite maps are, just because I know from what I've said in other videos that some of the maps I really like, people dislike, and some of the ones that I hate, people enjoy way more than me. But TDM Abyss, I would rank probably in an A. It's definitely not S tier. There's a few things I don't like about it, but A is a really good spot, I think, for it. I suppose I should also mention that I don't have any of the old maps on here, or the test maps. If I do that, I'll probably do it as a separate video, because I wanted this to just be the current ones as of like late 2022. The reason I thought about it just then as I put Abyss into A is because there is a test map where it's like 2 pillars in the middle, one on the left, one on the right, and then the sort of ends of the map are relatively closed in, but the middle part is just massively like Abyss, and there are tons of spots you can fall out, which is the reason why I like it. It's probably the best map for the knockout characters. Flying characters also do really well on it. It's quite a bit different from the other ones we've got, and also because of the event sort of being rather nostalgic for me. Also just because I think it'd be kind of fun, and because there's already a boost pad at the back of the map, and that's quite close. I think if there was a way stronger boost pad on this side, you can't really see it here in this tiny picture, or here right at the front that throw you to like the other side, that would make the map feel a little bit better for maybe the less mobile characters. That would be kind of fun. I don't know, love to hear your thoughts on that one. Then next up, we've got TDM, Trade District. I'd probably throw this one in B. I like the aesthetic for this map. I also like the aesthetic for the Abyss map, but there's a few things about Trade District that I don't really like. There are some parts of it where the spawns just feel sort of uneven. It's kind of just there, so I'm going to put it B in the middle. I don't think I really have to change it for the remastered version. I don't like a few parts about it. Some of the visual stuff makes it way harder to see what's actually going on. The layout's obviously very similar. They added a few things, and overall, I think I'd probably place that one a little bit higher, maybe B like plus, whereas this one's like a B or B minus. But might as well just leave it here, didn't even bother adding it to the list. Definitely talked about it in another video, but I really don't know why we haven't repurposed some of the maps for some of the other modes, because I think it would actually work quite well. Obviously not for Siege, because people view that as a bit of like a try-hard thing, but for more casual stuff, it would work great, and is obviously so much less work than just creating entire new ones. Then we have Snowfall, which I feel like is a map a lot of people dislike, but I might be wrong with that. I also don't like it massively. I'd put it in a C. I don't have that much to say about it. I like the sort of theme, but I don't feel like it's executed perfectly. It feels very old Paladins, actually. Don't know if I can put my finger on really why that is, but it does feel sort of retro. I guess it's like, what, 5 or 6 years old now? Maybe I'm getting that completely wrong. TDM Dragon Arena, I'd probably put B, high B. It's definitely above Trade District, but I don't think it's at the same level as Abyss. I think all the TDM maps are generally not really able to be S just because of TDM being TDM. Maybe at some point they'll prove me wrong. I guess we'll see. We've got Onslaught, Performance, Rise, and X, which is also put in A, but it's lower than Abyss. I do like this one quite a bit. I don't think people like this generally. I think the top part of the middle area is a little bit rough and can sometimes be kind of scuffy. There's quite a few things I think about that I'd change with it, but overall I do like it, and I do get semi-excited when I get this over some of the other ones, so I'm going to put it as, yeah, a low A. Then we have Onslaught, Primal Court, which I'm actually going to put currently a tentative S, which might surprise some of you because I don't feel like I play this very often. Maybe that's the reason why I love it, but I feel like it very much represents casual Paladins. It's super hectic, it's always messy, there's pretty much always action going on for the entire time you're playing it. The games go by super quick, although the bit at the back with certain snipers and spammy characters can be kind of annoying. I would say that I love Primal Court, and some of my best memories playing Paladins are probably on this map, and some of my best videos are on Primal Court, so that's why I got to put that one up there. I probably also put Marauder's Port at like quite a high ranking compared to most people. I think this map is also generally disliked, but I'd put it as like an A, middle, maybe even above Abyss. I do like Marauder's Port quite a bit. I feel like just the theme and the way it's laid out overall I like. Some things are a bit iffy though. Also worth mentioning that spawn trapping is probably the biggest problem on Marauder's Port compared to the other maps. Some of the other ones it doesn't happen on at all, but Marauder's Port, I'd say I do see it every now and again, and can be a little bit of a sort of swingy map, so I'm gonna leave it A-, B+, somewhere around there. It's kind of interchangeable with Foreman's Rise. Then we got Trade District, but this time on King of the Hill. There's no reason for me to add King of the Hill for Marauder's Port. By the way, I did think about it, but it's pretty much the exact same as Onslaught. Nothing really changes. It feels the exact same. I probably prefer it a tiny bit on Onslaught, but not enough that I'd really move it around at all. Don't think this will be the same for all of them, but for Trade District, I'd put TDM a little bit below King of the Hill, but they're basically the same Marauder's Port. Surfwall Junction, on the other hand, I would actually put higher on King of the Hill. I enjoy it quite a bit more. I feel like the spawns are better. It doesn't feel as sort of empty as it does on TDM. Still don't love it though, so I'm going to put it in B-. Next up we got Fish Market, another map that I would call classic sort of Paladins. This one I'm torn on. I've had some really good experiences on this and other times where it's been horrible. I couldn't put it anywhere above a B. There's some situations where I've really loved it. I really like the sort of dock area. I hope that they would add something there to give you a reason to go there, because pretty much there's not really one at the moment unless you're specifically trying to try out some weird tactic, like just some orb that does something. Also, I suppose worth talking about a bit is the fact that Fish Market is originally sort of part of a bigger map. If you want to see it, if you dare to go into the depths of my old videos, you can sort of see what it once was. It was part of like a 3-section map where Fish Market was either the left or the right, depending on what side you were on. The middle and the left side, I can't really remember, but they weren't very distinct, whereas Fish Market was kind of unique and a little bit separate. I remember the spawns quite a bit of both sides, but yeah, just a random thing for those of you guys that may be new to Paladins. Fish Market is actually a third-ish of what was once a huge map when Paladins was very, very different. Then we have Siege Frog Isle, the new Frog Isle. The old one, I actually think I like a little bit less than the new one, but not by very much. I think it's probably one of the better remade ones we've had. I really like the sort of big frog there in the middle. I'd put this one in an A, probably high A. My voice is already starting to go, but I do love me a good Siege Frog Isle, so I'm going to put that in A+, maybe even an S. We'll see how it goes. Frozen Guard, especially the remade version, is similar to what I said about the Trade District remake. Way too much visual mess in some of the areas. They did make it a bit better, but it's still kind of rough. To be honest with you, I'm not really sure where to put this one. I think I'm going to go with like B, sort of a lower B, somewhere around here, but no, I don't have anything massively positive I could say about it, but I also don't dislike it that much. I prefer Fish Market to it quite a bit. I'd maybe even move Fish Market up to A. Frozen Guard staying B-ish. Then we have Siege Ice Mines. Moving on, I'd put it probably somewhere around A. I was thinking for a minute that I'm going to put it in S because I do have some nostalgia for this map for whatever reason. I do like it a lot, but I don't know if I like it more than Frog Isle. Maybe I'll just put all 3 of these in S for now, and then maybe I'll move them around at the end, because I do like these a lot, and I feel like they do represent Paladins really, really well. We'll see. I will tweak it at the end as I did with all the other ones. We'll go for Siegeback Marsh next. Do also really, really like this. Is one of my favorite maps when it got introduced, and I've actually liked it probably the same amount since it first popped, so I think I've got to give it at least an A+. Although, just like Marauder's Port, it is one of those maps where it can be a bit tough spawn trap wise. Don't think that's the proper way to word that, but still going to give it an A+. I might move these around a bit. Jaguar Falls next. That's going to go in high B, maybe even low A. I don't know why in the time that I was sick, but my voice is like the last thing to go back to normal. I don't understand that. I have problems with my voice already, which I've talked about a bit in other videos, but right now it's kind of cooked up. Then we have Siege Bazaar next up. I'd probably put this one also in like an A, a little bit above these, probably even above Abyss. I like the theme of this map, and I feel like it's designed rather well, at least in my opinion. I'd put it, yeah, A+, similar to Bright Marsh. I like these two a lot. Honestly, pretty much all the ones in S and A I get quite excited about when I get compared to the ones in B and the one right now that we have in C. I think the map design in Paladins overall, though, compared to other games, is, you know, pretty top tier stuff. I really like the Paladins maps, which is why you probably hear me talk about new ones more than other changes, because I genuinely just like when we get new maps. I like the remakes as well, but definitely nowhere near as much. We've got Extension Peak, which I also like quite a bit, but not as much as some of the other ones here. I'm going to put it in A as well, A+. Next up, we've got Onslaught Where It's Archives. I didn't bother making a separate one for the OG and the remaster because they are very, very close. I do like the remake a tiny bit more, but they're basically the same. I'd put this one in low A. The A category is getting kind of stacked here, but I feel like it genuinely does fit in there. Probably my second favourite Onslaught map, very, very close to Primal Court, so it's going to go up there. TDM Abyss is definitely my favourite TDM. These two are my favourite Onslaught, and then these 5 and maybe some of the other ones we've got down here also really, yeah, just high up. Also, I did forget to mention the remade version of Jaguar Falls, but again, it would be in pretty much the exact same spot. Nothing massively really changes about it. It's just sort of an update visually. I feel like there's not any really new gameplay stuff going on. Seaturn Beach, I'd put as like a B for some characters. I do enjoy it quite a bit, but there's a weird thing going on in the middle again, like with the spawn stuff I said earlier, where you can feel kind of one-sided. So I don't know, I'm going to put it in B. I have similar feelings about it as I do with Dragon Arena, to be honest. Shattered Desert, though, on the other hand, is definitely an A. I think the visuals and the map design in general for Shattered Desert are top-notch. I'm going to put it high A for now. I might even move it up to an S. There are a few weird areas we don't really have a reason to go. The top parts having sort of like burn damage is kind of cool. I actually like that, although it can be kind of annoying sometimes. But yeah, not too many complaints I have about it. I do genuinely think of it quite positively when it does pop up. And I'm now realizing that we have 2 maps with the little IO fox head there, so we'll put them together. Both A+, I think. Then we have Siege, Splitstone Quarry, which I would put straight up in to S. I feel like if you watch my videos, you probably know that I love this map, but I don't feel like I've actually talked about it very much. It's just top tier stuff for me. I really, really like it. I hope they're making the hill for it, because again, I feel like it would kind of work. Although, depending on the situation, Splitstone Quarry can be kind of annoying if you've got people in the middle who are really good at pushing or pulling and play around sort of the death sides. Some characters also do struggle on it a little bit, but I do get excited when it pops up. I have a freaking blast most of the time when I'm playing on it. Even if I do lose, it's sometimes just kind of fun, so I'm going to put it there in an S. I feel like it deserves it. I don't know if I'm the only person who likes Splitstone Quarry. I never hear anybody talk about it, but then again, neither did I. So yeah, summary, Siege, Splitstone Quarry, good. The only thing I think that they could do to make this better is have the goddamn, like, huge, what's it even called, thing in the middle, just go down and hit the point every now and again when the point's active. I think that would make it so much more fun and mix it up. That's probably a ton of work, but I would love to see that, and it would go in its own tier of like S+. I mean, it even sort of has the design here with some of the ropes and the pulley stuff already going on. I would love to see it. If they ever remake Splitstone Quarry, please, I hope that they put the work in to make that a thing. It might be annoying, it might be a pain in the ass, but I would just love for that to be part of this map. I'm pretty sure, now that I think about it, it's the only map with like death zones on the side, like a lava pit and like a grinder that you can die in. So I feel like the middle also having a thing that comes down and kills you would just fit so well, even though it should deal damage and then kill you. You know what I mean? It's the only map with that sort of thing going on. All the other ones you kind of just fall off. I guess Shattered Desert technically has something similar with like the burn damage, but and essentially gets like the well, right? But yeah, Siege, Splitstone Quarry, I would love for that to be a thing, for the middle to just be like a death zone where if you're there, you're risking getting pulled or like pushed into just something that's going to kill you. I feel like I was quite passionate about that one, had a lot to say. Hopefully I cut that down to something reasonable. Siege, Stone Keep is next. The standard and the remake, I'd put around the same. I like some parts about the remake more and some less. The visuals, again, with the clutter of the new design is a little bit rough. I definitely have to put this one in B or above. It's around a B+, A-, somewhere around there. After they fix the visual clutter on the remake, it would easily be an A. But there are just sometimes I'm really annoyed because you can't really see what the hell's going on. Sometimes in Paladins that's a good thing, never really because of the map design. Next up though, we've got Siege Timbermill, which is a remake that doesn't have the same visual clutter problem. Probably one of the only ones that doesn't have that issue, which I think was also part of a bigger Paladins map at one point, but I might be wrong with that. I might just be mixing that up with someone else. It feels similar. No, wait, we definitely had something similar to Timbermill at one point with like Payload. I think it was part of Payload, right? Because I remember there being like a different area and then it sort of becomes similar to Timbermill. I might be getting it mixed up, but it does remind me of something. If any of you Paladins OGs are still around watching my videos, yeah, let me know. Do kind of wish they did something similar to Splitstone Quarry where the spinny grinder thing did something, because they're just stationary. Obviously there's no reason for them to really be working, there's no people on the map or anything, but it would be kind of cool if you could do something to activate it, like shoot something and then it spins, but that wouldn't really make sense just because of where they're positioned. Whereas on Splitstone Quarry, the middle thing being activated by like a button one of the teams has to shoot would be really, really cool. But see, Splitstone Quarry I think is quite different from Timbermill. I don't think I put Timbermill in an S. I'd probably put it in a low A though. I like it about as much as the other ones here, I'd say. Maybe a little bit, tiny bit less, but it is above these ones here. And then finally, Siege Baldur's Gate. I feel like I've forgotten something. If I have, drop me a comment, I'll reply to you and I'll like pin my response on what I think about the map, because I feel like I've definitely not put something on this list and probably not mentioned it in the video. If you want to see me do one for like the test maps and the retro Paladins stuff, let me know and I'll try and sort it out. But Siege Baldur's Gate, yeah, is the last one. Put that as a low B. I wanted to like this more. I do like sort of the redone version of it a little bit better. I don't really have too much I can say about Baldur's Gate. The side crystals is kind of cool. They were a little bit buggy, but something about it just doesn't really click together when I'm playing on it. I never really get too excited when it pops. It's just sort of the same as the other ones here in B, in this sort of rough order. I put it above these two, above Frozen God, but probably below Fish Market. I think I'm going to leave Frog Isle and Ice Mines in here, but a little bit lower from where they originally were. Splitstone Quarry is definitely my favourite. That one, for some reason, is just really easy for me to place. I might put Magistrates in S as well, just to sort of have like 2 Onslaught, 3 Siege. I feel like that's a bit better, because these really are my 2 favourite Onslaught maps. I guess we can put them together in this sort of order. Most of the ones in S and A, I'd say, are pretty close. My order's put is a little bit lower in A than the rest. Foreman's Rise is also just a little bit lower because of how outdated it is. I feel like Jaguar Falls does feel a little bit nicer, so I will put that above it. Timbermill I do enjoy quite a bit. Ascension Peak is also, yeah, these are all just staying in A or S. They're all kind of close above sort of like Jaguar Falls. I feel like they're all pretty close in this like range here. I feel like this has happened in like every one of the tier list videos I made, but there is nothing in D and there is one item in C. I tried to reorganize it to make it a little bit more balanced, but this is just kind of how it's gonna end up. I love Paladins to bits. Obviously it's got its problems or whatever. Luckily they are fixing the audio bug apparently. If you watch this far into the video, I assume that you already know that, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but try and spread the word. I guess it's being fixed because that's a problem. I know even people who aren't massively into the game have been sort of annoyed with. I like Paladins a lot. I like the maps a ton. A lot of these ones up here are maps I consider not just the best maps in Paladins, but some of the best maps in video games that I've played, aside from sort of single player stuff, because obviously that's like completely different. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video. I feel like I've been talking here for ages. It's been about, what, an hour? Didn't think it would take me that long, to be honest. I thought I'd be through this one pretty quick. I will be back with regular stuff when the update comes out, maybe a bit before, like I said. Definitely stay tuned. Thank you for watching my stuff. As always, I really do appreciate you. I sound so goddamn scuffed right now. If you want to skip to the start of the video really quick right at the end to see the difference, feel free to. It's probably quite noticeable. Maybe not if I manage to fix it in post as best as possible. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, of course, if you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts and your tier list down in the comments below, like I said right at the start. I will see you all really, really soon. And as always, stay frosty.